Yes. So it is a cocktail of biology and technology. That is what is biotechnology, which includes, you can see, science, laboratory, DNA, in bioengineering, research, microorganisms, and obviously you will be groomed to become scientist in future. So there is this famous saying that says that our world is built on biology, and once we begin to understand it, it then becomes a technology. So that means so far you have studied biology, so you understand that there is a subject named biology. But that is not enough, right? You have to learn to apply the subject so as to become the future scientist, become the future what can I say, become the future scientist who can save the world, right? You need to be the saviors of thousands of people. So how can that be done? Obviously you have to understand the applications which you are going to understand in your BSc level, যারা BSc তে আছো, বা MSc যারা অলরেডি BSc পড়েছো, এখন আরেকটু ডিটেলসে দেখবে জিনিসগুলোকে। তাহলে দেখো, বায়োটেকনোলজি ইনভলভস so many fields together: the industrial field, the medical field, the aquaculture field, environmental field, law and ethics, food industry, bioterrorism, okay, bioinformatics, desert and dry region, agriculture. So we think that অনেকেই তোমরা এরকম হয়তো ভাবো যে we want to study with food technology or food microbiology, or we want to study with aquaculture or medical sector but only industrial sector. So if you narrow down your field right now, what will happen later on? You will not get a exposure to all these subjects, right? So there are so many subjects. You see, industrial, which basically deals with your fermentation, how, like ethanol production for BSc. Those who will be studying with us BSc, we have this subject industrial fermentation. So how basically ethanol production, alcohol production takes place, or different kinds of bioreactors, how do they work, what are the various safety measures that are required in the industrial sector. You will get an exposure of that. This one, this plus sign, you have already always been acknowledged with this plus sign, which denotes a medical sector. Okay, so medical sector is basically like host pathogen interaction. What is host pathogen interaction? Means যেমনি কিছুদিন আগে করোনা হয়েছিল, right? So corona, what is happening, people were being infected by a virus. So here the pathogen is the virus, host is our human body. So these kinds of interactions between various kinds of microorganisms and the human body, okay, that falls under, that gives rise to what? Infections, various kinds of infections, maybe chronic infections or acute infections. What is the meaning of chronic? Chronic means which has developed from for a long time and now it has become very difficult to treat. Acute is it stays for some times and we can recover from it. So these kinds of studies which are linked with infections and pathogens and microorganisms and all these things, these are linked to your medical sector. Okay, aquaculture, you can understand that it is linked with fish, the biology between the that exist in the fish, what kind of interactions take place in the water area. Okay, so we also have water microbiology as one of your subjects. Then there is environmental. So we know that environment, it plays a very important role in the survival of any kind of living and non-living being. Okay, so environmental biology deals with all these sectors where we have air, air, water, then we have the soil. Okay, so all these kinds of, you will also be exposed to certain practicals where you have to isolate bacteria from the soil or isolate bacteria from the air. So all these kinds of interactions, and also you will see that environmental factors, they play a very important role in manipulating several microorganisms that can cause pathogenesis. Okay, so environmental biology is is another aspect of biotechnology. Then law and ethics. Okay, so there might be some of you who might get interested in law. So only taking up law and studying law will is a different perspective. But biotechnology in terms of law and ethics is linked to, like, suppose there are various food inspectors. What do? They go in various industrial visits and they check whether the food that is being supplied in the market, whether that is following proper ethics, proper law or not. Then also we use several animal models for our experiments, like those who will go for research purpose. So also these vaccines and all, they have been tested in animals, right, before they have been implemented into human beings. So what, there are certain ethics, there are certain laws, and this is governed by a governing body which are who have been linked with biotechnology. So by studying biotechnology, if anyone is interested in taking up the law and ethics portion, can also be going in that area as well. Then there is food industry. So obviously food is very important for our survival. There are so many industries that have been linked with this food. Like, you know, there is Amul, that can be linked with, so that is like ice cream, curd, milk, that kind of an industry. There are various fish industries which can be linked, like, you know, we can also interlink. Like aquaculture is a part of biotechnology, food industry is a bad part of biotechnology, but again food is a part of, or fish is a part of food. So these are interlinked. So this interlinking is what you actually need to understand while studying biotechnology, and thereby by getting exposed to so many subjects, you will actually understand what is your interest. Okay, because later on, after MSc also, you have to carry on in this field, right, or BSc or MSc, whatever. So you need to choose a certain area where you're interested in. If you just take a subject or area just for the sake of it, then you will not be enjoying it, and then you will be like all bored. Okay, so basically the purpose of exposing the students to so many areas is to understand their own interests, so that later on they can get job opportunities as per their interest. So that is what you need to understand. Bioterrorism. Obviously, this is not encouraged, like those who are terrorists. Okay, so what do you think that they are layman? Not at all. They also have certain knowledge. In fact, they use their knowledge in a negative aspect. Okay, that is why they give rise to bombs and other terrorism and all of that. But that is also linked to biotechnology. Like it was being reported previously that China has used this coronavirus as a bio weapon to infect the entire world. We don't know whether it is 100% true or not, but these are also, you know, the negative side. Everything has a positive and a negative side. So this bioterrorism is a negative or the dark side of biotechnology, but also again it is linked to biotechnology. Next, bioinformatics. Those who have attended our previous sessions have heard about bioinformatics, which is a new area, but it's very interesting. Where before undertaking any wet lab experiments, we perform some dry lab. When ধরো কোনো একটা compound, whether it is binding to the DNA or not, before taking the pain of doing so many experiments in the wet lab, we can perform the experiment in the computer only. হুম, কিছু সফটওয়্যার আছে, এগুলো সাবজেক্ট গুলো তোমাদের পড়ানো হবে কোর্সে। তো সেখানে তোমাদের যেমনি তোমার অটোডক্স ভিএনা আছে, তারপর আহ, তারপর তোমার বায়োইনফরমেটিক্স এর অনেক তোমার গ্লোবাল অ্যালাইনমেন্ট, তারপর পেয়ার ওয়াইজ অ্যালাইনমেন্ট, এগুলো অনেক কিছু আছে যেগুলো দিয়ে তুমি ডিফারেন্ট ডিফারেন্ট, ধরো তোমার কাছে you have 100 species of staphylococcal species that can be like staphylococcus aureus species or staphylococcus non-aureus species, ঠিক আছে? তো সেগুলোর ভেতরে কোনো একটা স্পেসিফিক প্রোটিন তুমি খুঁজছো, হুম, এত ডেটাবেস কে আমি কি করে অ্যালাইন করব? It is not possible for human being to do it alone. So by the help of bioinformatics, we can actually get a concise and comprehensive data. So this is also a very interesting area. Desert and dry regions, এটাও বুঝতে পারছো, and agriculture. So agriculture তো obviously you can understand, agriculture আলাদা করেও পড়ানো হয়, আবার as a part of biotechnology ও সেটা exposure আছে. So এতগুলো area you are going to explore while studying biotechnology. Okay, see. তাহলে molecular biology, once more I am discussing this. So molecular biology is basically what is happening, দেখো, replication, transcription, translation, gene regulation, right? Biochemistry এগুলো বললাম, সেটা রেকর্ড হচ্ছে নাকি বুঝতে পারছি না। Okay, anyways. Now, cell biology. So I said that the proteins, they are being formed by the process of molecular biology. এগুলো যে ফাংশনিং গুলো সেগুলো বায়োকেমিস্ট্রিতে এলো। এবার এই প্রোটিন গুলোকে তো ট্রান্সপোর্ট করতে হবে। সাপোজ তুমি কলেজে যাচ্ছ বা ইউ আর গোয়িং টু সাউথ সিটি or wherever you're going, you are availing a transport system. Either you're taking a cab, you're taking an auto, rickshaw, bus, train, whatever. That is getting you to your destination, right? এই প্রোটিনস গুলো ওরা বুঝবে কি করে, ওরা কোথায় যাবে, কি করবে? There is what comes cell biology and cell signaling, where where the protein is being instructed to travel in which direction. So there are various organelles সেলের ভেতরে, যেমনি ER আছে, মানে endoplasmic reticulum আছে, Golgi apparatus আছে, এগুলো সব আছে। তো এগুলো কি করে, helps in the transportation. So that comes under cell biology and cell signaling. Cell signaling মানে বাইরে থেকে কোন কোন ইলেকট্রোলাইট ভেতরে আসবে, সোডিয়াম পটাশিয়াম নিশ্চয়ই শুনেছো, যদি ডিসব্যালেন্স হয়ে যায় সোডিয়াম পটাশিয়াম 3:2 যে রেশিওটা আছে, then what happens, it can even cause death. So এইগুলোকে মেনটেন করার জন্য, একটা হেলদি সেল মেনটেন করার জন্য, there has to be certain signaling process, okay, which involves various lipids. এই যে সেলের যে outer covering, it is made up of a lipid bilayer. তাহলে এই যে লিপিডের স্ট্রাকচার ফাংশন পড়ছি সেটা বায়োকেমিস্ট্রিতে পড়ছি, এবার সেই স্ট্রাকচার ফাংশন দিয়ে ও একটা সেলকে কি করে সার্ভাইভ করাচ্ছে, বা কি ফাংশন ক্যারি আউট করছে, বা কিভাবে সেল সিগন্যালিং হেল্প করছে, that is coming under cell biology. Okay, and then obviously immunology. Immunology তে কি আছে না, immunology তে it is dealing with your the human defense system, where there are various kinds of immune cells and organs, যেগুলো তোমরা পড়বে, যেমনি তোমার cells, T cells, B cells, macrophages, then you have the monocytes. Monocytes basically mature to macrophages, dendritic cells. So there are various kinds of immune cells and tissues which contribute in the defense of our body. All these things compile the immunology. Okay, তো এই যে আমরা বলছি বি সেল, টি সেল, এপিসি সেলস, এগুলোর তো কনস্টিটিউশনস আছে, অ্যান্টিবডিজ, হ্যাঁ, তাদের ভেতর ইন্টারঅ্যাকশনস আছে, তো সেগুলো অলরেডি আমরা কোথায় পড়ে নিচ্ছি না, বায়োকেমিস্ট্রিতে পড়ছি। এবার সেগুলো কি করে আমাদের বডিতে হেল্প করছে to survive, but when a pathogen is entering inside our body, then how these proteins are playing its role, সেগুলো আমরা ইমিউনোলজির ভেরিয়াস পাথওয়েজ আছে, ভেরিয়াস তোমার সিস্টেম আছে, অর্গানস অ্যান্ড টিস্যুস যেটা বললাম, সেগুলো দিয়ে সেটা হচ্ছে, দ্যাট ইজ immunology. So that was about medical. Okay, medical sector. Now wide biotechnology. Wide biotechnology মানে ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল। তোমরা নিশ্চয়ই শুনেছো যে প্লাস্টিক had become a very big threat to mankind because it was affecting the environment, the water system, the aquatic life, everything, right? So as an alternative there was the production of bioplastics. তোমাদেরকে আমি যারা প্রত্যেকটা সেশন করেছো কোনো একটা সেশনে আমাদেরই ফ্যাকাল্টিজ বা আমিও হয়তো বলেছি যে আমাদের এখানে স্কিল এক্সিবিশনস হয় যেখানে আমাদেরই স্টুডেন্টরা দে কাম আপ উইথ ভেরিয়াস ইনোভেটিভ আইডিয়াস, সো দে হ্যাড কাম আপ উইথ দিস কনসেপ্ট অফ bioplastic, which is definitely a major research area in literature. But what had they done? They had synthesized bioplastics from algae. ঠিক আছে, অ্যালগি মানে অর্গানিজম ইউজ করে বায়োপ্লাস্টিক দিয়ে সেখান থেকে অর্নামেন্টস তৈরি করেছিল। সো দে হ্যাড ক্রিয়েটেড বিউটিফুল থিংস। যেটা আমি বেসিক্যালি বলতে চাইছি হচ্ছে যে ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল সেক্টরে there are various fields, তার মধ্যে প্লাস্টিক পলিউশন ইজ ওয়ান অফ them. সো এখানেও একটা রিসার্চ আমাদের হয়েছিল যেখানে প্লাস্টিক প্রোডাকশন, এই যে প্লাস্টিক যেটা ইজ আ মেজর কনসার্ন, সেটাকে আমরা কি করে মিনিমাইজ করতে পারি, তো তার উপরে আমাদের কিছু বায়োফিল্ম ফর্মেশন হয়েছিল, করা হয়েছিল, মানে বায়োফিল্ম মানে অর্গানিজম ক্লাস্টার করে ফর্মেশন করা হয়েছিল যেটা দিয়ে কিনা প্লাস্টিক ডিগ্রেডেশন হচ্ছিল। এটা একটা ডক্টর রণজিৎ সরকার, উনি আমাদের অনেকগুলো লেকচারে দিয়েছেন, তো উনি এটার উপর কাজ করেছিলেন এবং দেখেছিলেন that এটা সাকসেসফুলি ডিগ্রেডেশন হয়। So to take this into a larger scale, we can opt for industrial biotechnology. ঠিক আছে, দেখো কি বলছে, industrial revolution, it has eased our lives and contributed different products for our needs. However, at the same time, it has led to deforestation, destruction of habitat, caused pollution and global warming. So, for example, plastic producing companies produce non-biodegradable plastic which is easy to use, and therefore it has replaced traditional materials like wood and metals. But at the same time, plastic is simply being dumped owing to its non-biodegradable nature. And in this scenario, why biotechnology come into picture to find a solution which can reduce the pollution caused by plastic. So undertaking these kinds of projects can also be one of your outlook in future. That is, how can you solve? There are hundreds and thousands of problems which are existing in the society right now. So when you all will be working as researchers or whichever area you want to go, there will be even more problems. So taking up a problem and trying to find a solution, for that you need to be groomed or you need to understand the subject first, for which you need to study these various kinds of subjects. Okay, so next coming to green biotechnology. So this is a color coded by green color. ঠিক আছে, so green biotechnology থেকে বুঝতেই পারছো it is linked with agriculture. So there are various kinds of food technologies also which has put a positive impact on agricultural fields. যেমনি দেখো this picture, what you can see a wild type, then you can see golden rice 1, golden rice 2, তাহলে এগুলো কি? হ্যাঁ দেখো, golden rice containing genes of daffodil for the production of beta carotene precursor of vitamin A. So in normal condition this kind of production cannot be done. But biotechnologists, by undertaking certain measures of by implementing some gene into the plant, what they can do, they can give rise to a different variant of rice, which here they are saying it contains vitamin A. So এই vitamin A যদি থাকে তাহলে কি হবে, রাইসের ভেতরে যে ডেফিসিয়েন্সি হয় in humans, দেখো এখানে লিখেছে over 230 million people in Asian population suffer from night blindness due to the hello, হ্যাঁ কে বলছো বলো, hello, any questions? Okay, so basically this vitamin A can be incorporated into the rice and it can also help in for the patients who are suffering from night blindness. Okay, so it can improve the quality of life. So this is also another perspective of studying biotechnology. দেন উই হ্যাভ ব্লু বায়োটেকনোলজি। তো এগুলো অবভিয়াসলি বুঝতে পারছো, এগুলো পার্লস। হ্যাঁ, এই পার্লস গুলো কোথা থেকে এসছে? এগুলো সাউন্ড আসছে না?